MUZKAST Experience, Aaron, Dave, and Patrick, and special guests, Michael Wittig, right?
From
Yes,
Pillar.
sir. How y'all doing today?
Yeah, got the live studio audience for Pillar.
Right on.
I said earlier it's Pillar time. I hope I didn't offend. It's Pillar time.
Nah, I think we used to have a shirt that actually said that a long time ago.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
It had the logo and everything. I'm pretty sure we did.
That's awesome. Hey, now, Michael, you are one of the founding members, correct?
Well, yes and no, because I was a member when we came in and started touring full time. When we got signed, when the first albums came out, but there was actually a variation of Pillar back in college in the early days where Rob was actually playing bass guitar and there was an extra second guitar player. Then I come in and relieved him of the bass playing, and then we kind of took off, but there were a very early original version before me.
Okay. Yeah, I was reading about that and I was wondering, like, how did you guys just all suddenly, like, randomly meet together in college and form this band? Because the way it sounded like when I read about it on Wikipedia, you know, because all truth comes from Wikipedia.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right.
It made it sound like, hey, you guys were just a bunch of roommates in college and you decided to start a band. And I was like, well, that's interesting. How did like 4 college guys all happen to be Christian and want to start a Christian rock band? That seems really odd to me.
It's really not too far from the truth. We all went to Fort Hays State University, which was a smaller college in Western Kansas. The original guys were friends of friends. And I mean, that's how they met me too. We were all just friends of friends that heard about each other, that knew that the other were musicians and Christians. So I met them through Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Me and some of my friends did a worship night for them once, just one time. And the word kind of got out to them that, hey, there's this guy named Michael that's a bass player and he's a Christian, you know. And how we actually met was Pillar had just started. They're friends of friends. I was actually in another band that I had started, all from this very small town, Hays, Kansas. And we played a festival. Pillar and my group Mishap played the same festival. And it wasn't a Christian festival, it was just a festival. And I had talked to Rob and he had talked about how they needed a bass player. And the band I was in, you know, was a band I started, but it wasn't a Christian band. And that was my desire to do Christian music, but I didn't know any other Christians at the time. We were out in the middle of nowhere. So when I had talked to Rob and I heard Pillar play, there was just something about it and I prayed on it. And I remember driving home from college to my apartment and God just really hitting me that I needed to stop my band to be a part of Pillar. And that calling was so strong that I actually had to pull the car over because I felt it. And I broke up my band and they were really mad at the time and called Rob and said, dude, I'm in, let's do it.
I just want to point out for all the parents back in the day, that like the 90s and stuff, when you said that these college kids or these kids were out there wasting their life, they will never go to school and never amount to nothing. Michael, you are living, you're the proof that's in the pudding that they always talk about. The proof's in the pudding. What pudding? You found it. You're it.
The pudding.
Dude, met in college. We toured on weekends. Eventually I was a business guy. So once I was a new guy in the band, I kind of kept my mouth shut for a while, learned the songs. Then there was a point where I stepped up because I was always a business guy. I like to book shows, promote, market, build street teams. So I started booking the shows. We played on weekends. Eventually we played enough shows where we didn't work anymore. And then eventually we decided not to go back to college because we were pretty much full time. And we finished that semester. I don't think any of us graduated.
Don't say that. I just gave you props for being the right guy.
Yeah. You don't want to tell your moms about this because we didn't finish college. We were playing so many shows in full time that we just didn't go back. And the rest is history.
That skin that forms over the pudding.
I have always been looking, I mean, throughout my life, always been looking for new music that I hadn't heard before. When I was a kid, my brother moved in the 80s. My brother moved to Germany and I asked him to send me a bunch of cassette tapes of German music just so I could hear what the rock music in Germany was sounding like back then.
Nice.
So I
hope
got
Rammstein's demo tape.
Right. I hope I don't embarrass Aaron with this, but so early 2000s, I'm asking Aaron for some like new music to listen to and that sort of thing. And you know, he burned this Pillar album off of Napster and gave it to me.
Napster.
Called Fireproof.
There we go.
That's who you need to sue, Michael. It's him. He's a pirate.
Well,
we don't care.
Hey, Michael, I wanted to make it right. If you give me your address, I'm going to put a $10 bill in the envelope for you and just mail it out to you. So I can,
hey man,
so
I'll
can
DM
be good
that
with God.
I'll DM that to you after the show, man. You know, groceries are expensive nowadays.
Exactly. See, he didn't turn it down.
That'll buy me 2 cartons of eggs.
PayPal and Zelle now, Dave.
I find the $10 bill much more, you know, connecting and human.
So you guys been around for a while then. You guys been doing this for what, 20, 25 years?
Absolutely. Can't you tell?
I'm the youngest.
That's awesome.
They're old.
No,
I'm
Aaron,
relatively young.
Aaron and I met at a Christian concert when I think I was 13 and you were 15.
Did you guys ever play Warehouse Ministries in Sacramento? Do you recall that at all?
We have played Sacramento, but I do not recall where we played. So there's a lot of info in here, and a lot of it's gone out. There's so much I don't remember. I know we played Northern California and Sacramento. I just have no idea where we played. Our fans would know. If anyone's listening, send us a message. Let us know if you were at the show or not.
Absolutely. And you know, I want to get this out of the way because I was a little surprised. I didn't know this about Pillar, and maybe I should have. Grammy nominated.
Yep.
Dove Award winners, multiple Dove Awards, correct?
Sir.
And a gold record for Frontline.
Yep. It's hanging in the den right now.
Wow. I had no idea. So you guys did a bang up job in a short period of time. And it looks like you really took off by the sophomore album. How was it being a youth, maybe just out of college, and you're on this, you know, crazy train ride? Because that's what it seemed like for Pillar. Like it was like a 0 to 60 in a second, and you better hang on tight. Was that what it was like being in Pillar?
You know what? There was many years of hard work before we were signed. You know, when we were in college, like I said, we were playing shows every weekend. Before we were signed, we did a 6-week tour during the summer, and that's when we didn't go back to college. But we booked 6 weeks of shows straight. We're just gone. The day we got back, I got married. You know, so it was already insane, and we were working really, really hard. All the guys were hustling before we got signed to Flickr Records. Then once we got signed to them, then it started for us. I mean, even during the Above album, the first album that didn't quite break us, but it still did well. Man, we were gone 200 days a year touring. We were busy.
Did you find that being in Pillar put some undue stress on your family relationships? Like you said, you have a new wife and you're out on the road for 200 days.
It's all we knew, man. We were playing those shows when we met our girlfriends, and then we married them. You know, all of us were just dating at the time, our future wives, and then we married them. It's all they really knew. Now, looking back, was it healthy? No. You know, we were gone too much, man. There's so much I missed with my first 2 boys that were born. You know, my oldest is 18 now, and my youngest is who I just picked up from work. He's 16. When they were just born, man, we were gone all the time. We missed a lot. And back then, we didn't know any better. It was the next tour, the next album, the next this and that. You know, we were just working hard and looking at that next thing. But looking back now as a 46-year-old father of 4, yeah, we probably didn't need to be gone that much. We probably should have dialed it down a little bit. But, you know, you learn as you age.
And it's the youth. You know, you have so much energy and you always have tomorrow. By the time you get in 46 and 50, at least with me, I'm going, all right, tomorrow may not be here. You know, I certainly hope it is, but there's a good possibility it might not. So you start to look at life a little differently than when you're 20 something years old and you've always got tomorrow and the energy to make it to tomorrow.
Yeah, man, it was definitely a whirlwind. So we started in 1999. and our last independent album was in 2015. So we did it quite a while, man. It was a good 16 years, and we're not done. We just, had a bunch of kids and got off the road, and between our independent album 2015 and now, we released a couple Christmas songs as gifts to our fans just for free. And we're all talking about the future. We're 46 now. We're all healthy.
So
who knows what we might do in the next 5-10 years.
So I'm sure maybe you haven't paid attention to the, I guess we'll say the arena of the Christian rock genre that's happening now. There's a bunch of independents coming up. There's a bunch of guys out there just grinding, like sounds like what you guys were doing back in the day. Does that light the fire to write more, to do more, or do you even follow what's going on in the Christian rock market nowadays?
We don't really follow the market. It looks like it's completely changed. Now, even while we were out, it changed. When we first started, hey, there was bands rocking and rolling. POD was on MTV and doing big things, and MXPX was out there doing big things. And there was actually Christian rock radio that was multiple stations, and it reported, and hey, we were #1 in Christian rock. It was back then, it was actually a big thing. And then as the years went on, that market really collapsed, and a lot of it filtered over to what they call CCM, which is more worship rock, and it just changed so much. So I know there's few Christian rock stations still out there. There's pioneers like you guys still rocking and rolling. But back when we started back in 2000, 2002, there was stuff going on. It was a big deal. And as the next decade went on, I saw that collapse. And I think it's happened in mainstream as well. Just rock music in general is not as big as it used to be back when Linkin Park and Papa Roach were just killing, and Papa Roach is still out there doing stuff, but the market's just not as big as it was. At least that's what I think. Now, so I don't follow it closely like I used to when I was in it, but I follow my friends. I keep an eye on what Skillet's doing, and Red, and the bands that we were toured with and we're friends with. But I really don't. I'm not in the business on a daily basis anymore like I used to. I really don't know what's going on a month-to-month basis.
Well, the struggle is real, Michael. The struggle is real. It's terrible out here. It is absolutely terrible. It's awful. Awful.
Patrick leads a band called 3 Days Under out in Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's awful.
No, you just had a new release.
No.
It's fantastic.
I'm just saying the market is awful.
Oh, I meant the band. No, the band's great.
Hey,
They just released a single called Patrick.
Bring Out Your Dead.
There you go.
You should go listen to it, Michael, and then tell me how terrible it is.
It's not Pillar.
I'll check it out.
Did you ever tour with Striper?
We did not, man. They were friends of ours, though, particularly Oz Fox, I would say, more than the other guys. We had met him somewhere in California a couple times, and Oz Fox always came up and talked to us, especially Noah. I think I just posted this last week a picture of Noah with one of his signature guitars.
Oh,
and
cool.
Oz actually is the one that took that photo. Now, I'm not going to say we're best friends, but we know him. Never got a chance to tour with him, but that would be cool.
That would be a great show.
I could see us playing some shows. We're starting to get offers, nothing concrete, nothing set in stone, but we are talking and looking to doing something down the line. And they would actually be a really cool band to do some shows with.
If I could tie Pillar and Striper together, could you guys make that happen? If I did a little bit of legwork, could you guys make that happen?
Do a little legwork, man. I
go.
know we would be open to it as long as it made sense, date wise for our families. That's really what we're looking at now. For the future, we want to do stuff. We're talking about some music, some shows. But now that we're older, we want to make sure it makes sense for our families first, and then do it.
I want to come back. Let's break here. I want to do a couple of songs. What are you pointing at, Aaron?
What songs we're gonna do?
Well, I'd like to do Fireproof and the song that Patrick requested.
Nails.
Okay, one of the new ones.
Yeah, I'd like to hit those two songs, and then I want to come back and talk about the future of Pillar.
Okay.
That would be fantastic. Let's do that. It's the Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience. Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience. Aaron, David, Patrick, and on the Zoom, It's Can I-
Pillar.
Pillar. Well, I was going to say
Michael.
Kalel. Tell me about this Kalel thing, Michael.
Yeah, man. So I was always a Superman friend or fan growing up. Just love Superman. And when we were in the early days, when we were independent, me, Rob, and the original guitar player had a house in our college town in Hayes. We rented a house together, and we had a band room and practiced every night. I had an office and would book our shows and do calls and try to contact record labels. Well, back then I didn't want to contact them and say, "Hey, this is Michael, the bass player for Pillar. You want to book?" I didn't want to do that, so I came up with Kalel for all the band photos and promo. And then I called, "Hey, this is Michael Wittig, calling on behalf of Pillar." So I was kind of like the manager is Michael, Kalel's the bass player. Most people did not put two and two together. Then we just rolled with it forever.
That's awesome. So you still go by Kalel then, or?
Yeah. With the band stuff, I mean, I still have people message me or catch me at a grocery store, pretty often.
Awesome.
And, "Hey, Kalel, what's up?" So yeah, I think on my Facebook it still says Michael Kalel Wittig.
Awesome.
So
Hey,
man, it's for life.
Where do you call home now? What city are you?
Dude, we've been in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh,
So we moved here. Dude's trying to call me again, man, and we're on my phone, so I do not know how to stop it or switch it over. We just have to wait till he hangs up and gives up.
Okay.
Can you guys still hear me, or am I?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
You said you were in Tulsa,
Okay, very good.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, man. We
This always happens to me.
Yes.
Once we got signed to Flickr Records, we decided to relocate the whole band to Tulsa because we needed an airport. And it was either Wichita, Kansas City, or Tulsa. And we had a couple buddies in Tulsa, so we decided on Tulsa. Me and my wife, we've been here for 22 years now.
Oh, and you're loving it, right?
Rob's still here. Yep, him and his family are here. And the other guys are actually based out in.
You guys need to hook up with my buddies in Chaotic Resemblance and do some shows together too. I mean, they're right there in Oklahoma.
Are they? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is one of the guys from Fear Not too.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask about this. Like I said, I got a ton of questions, but there was one that really stuck out to me because I wanted to know. And since you did a lot of the business end of the band, you're a good person to ask. So for the Love of the Fan tour, fans chose their own ticket prices.
Yeah.
How did that work out? How did that work out?
Worked out great, man. Worked out awesome. Yeah, dude, it was a good deal.
So were you getting to like ticket prices like 50 cents, $1, or how did it? I mean, I don't even know how it happened.
I honestly don't remember, dude. It was so long ago. I forgot. Like I said, I forgot a lot of stuff. I know it did turn out great though. It was an awesome tour. We had a lot of fun. Worked out business wise too. I don't remember all the specifics on this and that.
It's a great idea. I'd never seen a band do that before. It's a great idea.
Yeah, we good. As far as I remember, man, it was a hit.
Fantastic. I know I've been speaking a lot. Aaron, what do you got? Anything? No?
You're good.
I know. I've been rolling
You're the
on.
one with the 2.5. You're the 5-star Mead chapter notebook got filled with questions.
Yeah. You know what? I did want to. I'm going to fanboy out for a minute.
Okay.
Man, Shine. I have to tell you, I have some weird connection to Collective Soul as far as like, there's certain bands that you connect with their music, and I connected with Collective Soul's music right off the bat. And then I saw him in concert and I saw him do Shine and I loved it. And that's one of my favorite songs. And then I hear Pillar punch it up a bit. And while I love both songs, not even lying, I love both songs because yours is a rocker where theirs is a little more, on the easier side of stuff. I thank you, I guess is what I should say. Thank you for doing a fantastic cover of Shine from Collective Soul.
I've been fans of them too, man, since they came out. I loved Shine when I first heard it, and I've taken my wife to see them in concert here in Tulsa. Yeah, they're a great band. Pretty sure that was Rob's idea. And everybody loves that song. And we always know when we bring a song to Noah, he's going to crunch it up. I don't know if you guys ever heard the U2 Bloody Sunday Bloody Sunday cover that we did.
We've played that here, haven't we, Aaron?
Yes, yeah, we did a couple.
Noah always will crunch those up, man. We're always gonna, because of him and the metal that he's heavily influenced by, it's always up to here when we do a cover.
Yeah, I keep trying to get Patrick to do a cover of like Mandy from Barry Manilow, but he just won't touch it.
That's
Sorry,
awesome.
David. Sorry, David.
Yeah. Well, you know,
So-
Juice Newton it is, Patrick.
So from right here to the, next 5 years, where is Pillar going to be?
Yeah,
Where
that's the
is-
big thing.
yeah.
I wanted
Yeah.
to preface this a little bit.
Okay.
I was always under the impression that Pillar broke up and is no longer around. And then I saw, maybe it was you, somebody from Pillar posting a lot on Facebook. And I went, is Pillar coming back? Because I thought you guys had broken up. What
So when do we get
is-
new music?
Yeah, what is the story with Pillar and where? Yeah, when do we get new music?
So we never officially broke up. We just got busy with life. Like Rob has 5 or 6 kids, so many that I lost count.
Oh,
Count.
Bob.
I have 4. Noah has a bunch of kids. Lester has a bunch of kids. We just got busy
You guys
with
didn't
life,
get busy
man.
with live, son. You
So
got
we
busy
never
with other
officially
things.
broke up. Rob became a pastor. I started doing fitness stuff. Lester, I don't know if you know, I mean, you turn on TV every day. He's on the Kelly Clarkson show playing drums back behind Kelly.
Yeah, I was gonna
No
ask
way.
about
Doing
that.
Dude,
Yeah,
Lester,
every day he's
Lester
on
put
TV. I
down the
see him every
drums.
day. I'm like, hey, Lester, what's up? Or he's like got The Rock on there. I'm texting him, dude, you're hanging out with The Rock right now. So we all talk like very often on a weekly basis. We have this little text group going. We never officially just said, hey guys, we're broke up. We just stopped.
How
But
did I never
in the
put
last-
this together?
We
How many
released an independent album in 2015 called One Love Revolution. That was the last album that we've dropped. Since then, we dropped 2 Christmas songs that were really heavy that we gave out for free. That people could just YouTube those. There's 2 of them, and we just been busy, man.
Yeah, I
Like
hear
a few
ya.
years, like a few years back, I recorded and released a single called "Breathe," and the guy who recorded it, Nick Joyce, he knows Lester, so he sent off
Okay.
my track, and Lester laid the drum track for this song. So it's small world, and I never put it together. I never once put it.
Yeah,
together.
Lester Lester's busy, man. He does a lot of studio work. There's a lot of Christian rock, a lot of just popular stuff, just bands you never heard of that he lays the drums for. A lot of times he does it in his house. He's got his own studio in the house, or he goes to the studio in Nashville. He does a lot of that. He does a lot of just music work, man. He's one of the best drummers and studio guys out there. He's amazing. And when we first brought him into the band, because we had an original drummer named Brad, and he's Rob's brother-in-law. He's the one who actually played on the Fireproof album. And then he got married, and just the road life wasn't for him. He wanted to be a family man. And then we needed a drummer. And we heard about this amazing drummer from Kansas City. One of our guys saw him play at Nashville with some group. And we heard he's from Kansas City. So being the business guy, I'm the one that tracked him down. I started making calls, figured out who he was. We had him come down here to Tulsa to try out in a friend's studio. And I remember that day, him and Noah got in a room and just jammed. And me and Rob were on the other side of the glass in the studio just watching. And it blew our minds. His level of ability was so amazing that it absolutely, and we tried out a bunch of guys, but when Lester did it, it blew our minds. And I remember Noah specifically, who's amazing too. I mean, he's ridiculous. That's why we put them in there, because they could just go forever. I'm an all right bass player, but I'm not at their level. I never was. So we just let them go. And I remember Noah turning around and looking at us and going, like, he turned around and gave us a smile like this dude blew his mind. So
And then Pillar blows up, and then Rob has weird Thanksgivings and Christmases for the rest of his days with his brother-in-law.
yeah, well, no, Brad's always been fine with it, man. He's a family man. He knew that his contribution is what got us there, though. If it wasn't for Brad, man, he was the laid back. He was a great drummer, great when it comes to helping us writing songs, like composing. But he was also the bus driver and the mechanic. Man, if he wasn't out there working on that bus every day and getting us to our shows, we would have never did what we did or got to where we were. He was a founding member that got us to that next level. And then when we brought in Noah, that's where we went to another level. There's stages of Pillar. The original guitar player, his name was Travis Jenkins, still a good friend of ours, did all the writing on the Above record. and the independent stuff he wrote on. And I think he had a little bit of writing credit on, I can't remember, but if it wasn't for him, there would have been no Pillar. But then when he stepped down, because he just wanted to get off the road. He had a girlfriend at the time and wanted to get off the road. And we found Noah. Noah's metal influence took us from above to what you hear on Fireproof. Fireproof was all Noah. I mean, he was just the riff master. Took it to the next level.
Yeah, I even made notes of a couple of songs that I even wanted to talk about the riffs about, but we're running out of time. And I want to talk about the future of Pillar. Do you got new music coming out?
So I have nothing to tell you that's concrete. It's not that I'm holding secrets. There's just nothing concrete to say. I will tell you that we are being very focused with when we're posting. There's a reason. We are rebuilding the brand. We want to let people know that, yes, we are going to do something. We're not dead. We never broke up. And we want to say, hey, guys, we're still here. And we want to find our fans, and we're bringing them back to lay the groundwork for things that we want to do in the future. We do want to release new music. Is that new music wrote yet? No. Noah always has riffs. Rob always has ideas. We want to release new music, and we are entertaining the idea of doing some shows. Is it going to be this month or next month? No. Probably sometime next year, maybe next summer, maybe next fall. I'm saying maybe because we don't have anything official, but we want to drop new music. We want to do some new shows. We want to release some new t-shirts and do things that just whatever we wanted to be able to do whatever we want.
Well, you know, as you rebuild the brand, please allow Rock Salt to be a pillar in your rebuilding.
Oh, Dave, that is
okay.
Absolutely. You guys keep in touch. Keep following the socials. And feel free to drop. You got my cell number now, but email me or whatever.
That's the biggest mistake you ever made, brother. It's the biggest mistake you ever made.
Every now and then and ask what's new, and I'll keep you guys posted, man. When we got things planned.
Fantastic.
I could see us probably dropping a single or two before an album. We're probably going to go that route because it's just faster for us to drop a single or two. I see that happening. And I see us booking we're not going to go on tour. We're not going to be gone from the families for months. We're not going to do that. But I can see us booking some choice festivals or specific shows in specific markets and making it really big. I can see that happening in the next year or so.
Michael, thanks for coming on the show. People can find you where?
pillarmusic.com. I don't know if it's updated. Probably not right now. What we are keeping very updated on a weekly, every couple day basis is our Facebook and our Instagram, which are both Pillar Music. So if you want to hear the latest, you want to communicate with us, we are updating and keeping very active on our Facebook and Instagram, Pillar Music.
Awesome. Aaron, we're going to do some more Pillar here. What do we got lined up?
We're going to do Shine like you want to.
I love it.
And then we'll follow with Frontline.
Michael, thank you very much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be back soon.
And I sure hope that I can see you sometime in 23. Rock on, brother.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good day. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.